This is the Wing Woman Show. Are you ready? Welcome to the Wing Woman Show. Today's guest is Marisa. She's the founder of Redhead Wine at 23 years old and just recently acquired her family's winery. Marisa, thanks so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit of what it was like growing up. I know your family is in the wine business, so what was it like growing up and being around wine just all the time?
Honestly, it was so interesting because from a young age, I realized that food and wine brought people together. And it was one of the things that wanted to lead me into the career I am today. Just observing when I was like 5 years old that a lot of friends and family would come over to my parents' house or my grandparents to enjoy a meal. And it really shared a lot of
Yeah.
fond memories with my sister and my family and friends growing up because it's really special to have a family centered childhood, and it's something that was really
Mhm.
special to me. So growing up in that environment really led me to be passionate about wine throughout what I am doing today.
Right. So when you were younger, did each person in the family have their own roles? Like, did you have a job to do when it came to like making the wine and producing the wine?
Honestly, I think I was more in the way than anything when I was really
You
little. It's like, oh, I want to help, but when you're 8 years old, you're more in the way than anything sometimes, just depending. Like, I don't want to judge other 8-year-olds' work
right.
ethic, but for me, I just want to taste the grapes. I want to try the fresh grape juice coming out of the press.
Yeah.
It was fun, like putting the grapes into the press when it came to harvest, but other than that, that's really as extensive my help went. But it was really cool to see my family make wine during the harvest season, which is fall, and it was really cool to
Yeah.
see them have that passion for making house-made items. I know it's something that a lot of the generations are getting away from today, and it's something that I'm really excited to carry on to my future family as well.
Yeah, I love that because I know that I read that your grandparents came to America with that tradition. So that's something so special just to be able to carry on. And I love that.
Thank you. It's definitely something very special to me.
Yeah. So when it was time for you to go to college, were you ever like, oh, I'm so tired of wine? Like, just get me out of here? Because I know that you decided to pursue the study of winemaking, but was there ever a moment where you were like, I don't know if I want to carry on this tradition?
Yeah, I think I took it for granted for a little bit. I noticed a lot of my classmates had a little more passion for the study during the
Hmm.
first like 2 years of school. I kind of felt lost and really wanted to find what my true passion was. And after taking a few classes, I really realized I did love wine. And
Hmm.
I kind of had that little crisis where I decided, like, oh my gosh, am I only doing this because it's what I know? Is it something I really
Yeah.
love? And I did discover that, but I definitely did have that little internal crisis. I mean, my first winemaking class, I failed the midterm.
Hmm.
I thought I just knew everything because I grew up
Right.
around it. I didn't have to study, and it was a huge wake up call. I remember many hours spent in a library so I could pass the final. I ended up
Wow.
getting, I think, a B plus in that class. So I'm really glad that I turned that bus around.
Yeah.
But just because things are doing well for my business now doesn't mean I was an A plus student. That's for sure.
Right. And yeah, I'm surprised. So, what is it like studying winemaking in college? Like, what are the classes like? What do you do?
Yeah, there are many specific courses within the viticulture enology program. It's not all about just tasting wine. There's a lot of chemistry involved. You have to take wine chemistry one, two, and three.
Holy
It's
cow.
very, very difficult. Honestly, without all of my friends and my professors in office hours, it would have been very difficult to get through because it's a science you're really not used to. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of intricate things you have to understand to really refine your craft of making wine. And especially understanding some of the basics, because if you don't understand how to stabilize a wine, forget about it. Like, you can't just bottle a wine and think it's going to be shelf stable. You need to understand, how much metabisulfite to add. You have to understand free and total SO2. It's
Holy
pretty
cow.
it sounds complicated, but you really need to be detail focused and really
Uh-huh.
understand the basics of chemistry to be successful. But if you really know the advanced uh, topics that we also learned, you're really able to elevate your craft. I think one of my favorite classes that I struggled with but found a huge appreciation for was vineyard management. Um,
Mhm.
it was a class where you had to build your own vineyard from scratch, but on paper, of course. But
What?
to begin, you had to go to a field literally in the middle of winter in upstate New York. I was a little marshmallow
Oh
wearing
my
like suit.
gosh.
I had to take a soil sample, and I was 100 pounds at the time, 110 pounds, using this pickaxe, trying to break through
What?
the frozen ground in the middle of January. It was terrible, but I learned a lot in that class. So I'm really glad I had that hands-on experience, but also understood how difficult it is to grow grapes,
Right.
because my specialty is focused in wine, not the viticultural aspect.
Mhm. Wow, that is I can't believe there you are like in the snow trying to get the sample. I love how interactive that is though because it is important like today now you're running your own winery. So now you like have all of that experience.
Yes, absolutely. It definitely is a time in my life I wish I took more pictures. I mean,
Mhm.
iPhones just became popular when I was in college. So just to
Yeah.
kind of put this in perspective,
Right.
during my freshman year in 2011, people were still using digital cameras. So it wasn't
Oh
always very
my
convenient
gosh.
to um, take pictures.
Yeah, I mean, because those pictures would be great before and afters for Instagram or on TikTok now.
Exactly.
So, towards the end of your time at Cornell, you did a capstone project. So tell us about that, where that project led you.
Yeah, I mean, sincerely, I wasn't 100% what I wanted to do with the capstone, especially because a lot of my older peers that were seniors that were working on the capstone were doing a lot of traditional vineyard research or research in the lab when it came to like yeast or anything when it came to fermentation science. And that was very intimidating to me. I mean,
Mhm.
just picturing myself doing research like that in a lab or a vineyard was definitely something I felt apprehensive about. So I thought,
Right.
okay, maybe I could just embrace my passion for creativity. And I proposed to my professors, hey, can I create a brand through a label I started
Mhm.
in 2013 and document the process making wine and bring it to market, and
Mhm.
they said yes. So I actually got to start on my capstone 2 years early, and you're supposed to start your senior year. So I really took my time, and it
Mhm.
really snowballed into something much larger than I ever expected.
Yeah, so now you have Redhead wine, which has just taken you everywhere. Because the wine is, I know it's in Walmart. Where else can the wine be bought at?
Yeah, so it's a little complicated. I've been doing a lot of marketing on TikTok and Facebook and other
Mhm.
social platforms. I think people could get a little frustrated that they're looking for it in their local store, but we're only selling in Ohio, West Virginia, lightly in Pennsylvania, and we're expanding to Virginia and Kentucky this year.
Wow.
um, very excited about the expansion, but it's just like you don't expand distribution and boom, you're in all the stores. It takes
Mhm.
a lot of time to build, especially in an organic way that I'm doing right now. You have to not only get a distribution partner to help sell your wines, but you have to pitch to stores like I am in Walmart, like in Ohio, I'm in Giant Eagle, I'm
Mhm.
in Acme, Bueller's, Heinen's, Meyer, and all
Wow.
kinds of other locations. But that took like 6 years of work,
Right.
communicating to these stores, hey, would you be interested in carrying these products? And I explained them. It takes a while to get those authorizations and the retailers that give you a chance. So even though I'm expanding to like Virginia and Kentucky this year, it'll
Mhm.
probably take 1 to 2 years to get enough shelf space where people could find it
Mhm.
conveniently unless things grow aggressively, and it's very
Right.
possible. But um, it's just because I'm not a huge company like the companies out in California, I have to really kind of take every day at a time and be
Right.
patient. And it's definitely a rewarding process. That's why, like at the beginning of this call, before we started recording, I was like, it's moving so fast, but sometimes you have to take time to like breathe in and breathe out and really
Right.
enjoy the little things that have built the business to what it is today.
Yeah, I mean, even just thinking like a project that you did in college is now going to be sitting in a shelf this year in Kentucky, and someone's going to buy it and bring it home to their family. Like that is such a
Oh,
special feeling.
it gave me chills you saying that. That's
Yeah,
so
like
crazy.
that's you. Like when you're staying up late at night working, or when you're having like a problem with distribution, like you are literally sitting on the tables of so many kitchens, so many like big get-togethers. I mean, now with Corona, not so much, but like that's such a special feeling.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's kind of ironic you mentioned distribution issues. I mean, distribution is quite a chaotic industry. So you're really speaking to me.
Yeah. I just knew, I could sense it. So walk us backwards, because you took this idea from just college to now you're in Walmart, you're expanding to these different states. So you did your capstone project, you have all the things together, you have the branding, you maybe have like some kind of distribution plan. So how did you really put that idea and that plan into action?
It really was through hands-on experience, but also writing a basic business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my capstone, I did write a plan to go as the written portion of it, which really
Mm-hmm.
gave me a lot of experience and understanding of the basics. But it really wasn't until I started going store to store in 2016, talking to people, understanding what they're looking for in a wine or what
Mm-hmm.
it takes to successfully sell a product in retail, and that's where I really understood what I needed to
Mm-hmm.
focus on and how to execute. um, it just, that hands-on experience is something that you can't take for granted. You really have to work at it to get that experience. It's something that no one could ever take away from you, and it's something you really can't learn online. You just have to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right. So is that how you got your deals with Walmart? Were you just going store to store? How did that come about?
Yeah, so Walmart has a program called Open Call where if you are a US made product and you're looking to sell in the shelves of Walmart, you can pitch them at their Open Call pitch day, which actually is this October online. So
Oh,
if
wow.
anyone's listening and has a product they'd like to sell at Walmart and it's USA made, definitely Google Walmart Open Call. They work with any size company. So even if you can only sell your product in about 30 stores, they want to give you the opportunity to grow and really see how the Walmart consumer responds to your product.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I applied, and I was really small, and they gave me a test market. I eventually sold my wines in about 60 stores, and that really gave us that proof of concept and validated my business concept, and
Mm-hmm.
enabled me to hire some people along the way. So now
Right.
we're in 3 states with Walmart, and we're expanding rapidly. And I'm just so grateful that they gave me the chance, because Walmart's the largest retailer in the world. And the fact that they gave my small company a chance really
Right.
showcased that there's some validity to what I'm doing. And I've had a lot more opportunity from other retailers or other business people because of the chance that Walmart gave me.
So what was the open call like? Is it like a pitch competition? Do you just submit the information? How did they decide?
Yeah, so the application, for what I remember, because I filled out about 2017,
Mhm.
um, you have to talk about just the structure of your company, what your revenue history is, who your target consumer is, send in pictures of your product and describe your product, and of course, suggested wholesale and retail. So pretty much all the basics. And don't feel intimidated if you have low revenue, as long as you're showing that there is a small market for it and that
Mhm.
you are growing year over year, they're going to give you that opportunity. So it's a pretty simple process, but you're always nervous about it because you just never know what they're expecting. But as long as you put your best foot forward and you're honest and you showcase your passion for what you're doing, I have faith that Walmart will give you that opportunity.
Right. So was Walmart your first big store?
Not really. I mean, Giant Eagle is a very large chain in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West
Mhm.
Virginia. So Giant Eagle was our first large chain we got into, but a lot of the mom and pop owned stores really helped me get momentum with my products, and they're still working with me till this day, like Sparkle Markets, Larry's Drive Through in Poland, Ohio was one of my first stores, as well as like Ross's Markets in Lowville. So a lot of small mom and pops really gave me my foundation to what I am today, and I'm super grateful for it.
Right. Um, so currently, is that like the plan for the future is to sell all through the major retail chains, or do you have future visions for like opening other wineries?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal right now is grow the winery that my fiance and I just acquired. It's called Lupa Bella. With my experience growing Redhead, I was able to take that into wanting to grow other brands that my family has started.
Mhm.
So we have another brand called Purple Rain that is super popular as well, and some other brands that I'm really trying to focus on because I feel that there is so much opportunity in the wine market and we have so many unique wines to offer. I really wanted to give all of my time and energy into that. So I'm really focusing on the distribution piece
Right.
and not really opening any other wineries. One is enough, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But hey, you never know what's going to happen. But one thing is for sure, I like to go with the flow and whatever makes sense at the time for growth and the support of my employees, we go after.
Right. So let's go back to Redhead because it's very much so centered around obviously your beautiful hair. Was there ever a moment where you thought maybe I shouldn't center the brand around myself and maybe make it something more typical of a wine? Because I love how you've centered it around your hair.
Thank you. No, it's something that I actually have been insecure about. I was bullied in junior high school and high school for red hair and my appearance and being nerdy, and it definitely carried with me through
Hmm.
college. And I just felt so exhausted, feeling insecure. And after finding some friends that really supported who I was and accepted me for actually being myself, I wanted to just finally let go of the dead weight of feeling not good enough and created Redhead as a label that I wanted to support because it embraced my insecurity, which was being
Hmm.
fair skinned and having red hair. And it really did well. Just I think being yourself and doing things that um, are unique to you are what really work in the society that we have today.
Yeah, I love that. And now they're probably seeing your wine in Walmart.
Yeah, perhaps.
So you're very active on social media, on TikTok in particular. What opportunities have kind of come from being so active on TikTok?
Honestly, the biggest opportunity was having a large national distribution company reach out. And because they saw one of my videos, I am signing a two-state contract with them, which is going to be Kentucky and Virginia. We're still in the
Wow.
process, so the paperwork hasn't been officially signed. So I can't say who it is, but
Right.
maybe we could do a follow-up interview.
Yeah.
I can disclose that detail, or at least we can put an annotation once it's official that you can put the
Yes.
name in the description of the episode because I hate to leave people hanging, but I like to respect deals that aren't
Oh, of
completely
course.
official yet.
Yeah. Holy cow, that is so exciting. Just to think from like a couple of little 30-second TikTok videos that something that big has come from that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's like the best social media success story I think I've ever heard.
Aw. No, I'm just so grateful because I think what people don't necessarily realize, yes, I have a history in winemaking, doesn't mean we are known whatsoever in the industry. It's this industry has been ruled by global conglomerates for
Mhm.
many decades, and we're really new. So we don't have any notoriety whatsoever. And it's really hard to get your story in front of distribution companies because every beverage company wants distribution. So they're getting pinged by tons of suppliers every
Right.
year. Why are you special? What makes you a company that deserves their attention? So having an audience on TikTok, which has organically led to this distribution opportunity, is super unique, and I am very grateful for it. But it's definitely something that is necessary because you have to be sifted through the crowd. Like, how are you going to be remembered and noticed? And TikTok has been a great tool for that.
Yeah. So, what would be your biggest piece of advice to someone wanting to start a product based business that might be in a more unique industry like wine? What would be your biggest piece of advice for them?
Don't listen to negativity. Always go with what feels right. Of course, you want to listen to advice from respected mentors, but if it feels right in your gut, please go for it. Don't question it. That's how I've been successful, just by listening to my inner self and my instinct. And I think
Hmm.
that's so understated in the entrepreneurial landscape today. Just
Hmm.
going for it and not letting negativity drag you down.
Yeah. Wow. Marissa, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me. And yeah, you can connect with me at Redhead Wine on any social platform, or at Marisa Sergi on TikTok and other socials as well.